everyone. Welcome to Not Gel Hollyoak. It's Ian Lyons here. Unfortunately, as you've probably guessed, everyone around the country is having broadband bandwidth issues, as we have been tonight. So it's entirely my fault. My broadband simply can't sustain 5 adults on streaming, as well as trying to get this software to produce, which is what's required. So hopefully Gel will be in the chat room for those of you that join us, and probably giving the wrong and right answers at the same time, no doubt, as well as some funny ones. So Gel, if you're watching, really sorry, mate. I'll catch up with you after, but thanks for being there anyway. Countdown's just about to start, so give me a shout in the chat, and I'll shout some names out, and then we'll begin. Hi Paul, hi John, hi Jordan, as usual, regulars. Fantastic to see you boys. Hopefully you're all safe and well. Another week has gone past. It's absolutely crazy. I don't know about you guys, but it's just like this must be what retirement's like. I'll have to ask my dad, because it just seems to be one day is merging into another. Hi Paul, how's it going? Can everyone hear me okay? I hope so. Hi Andrew. Before we start as well, I can't encourage you all enough to subscribe and like to the Red and Blue review page, not Red and Blue News. Some of you may have seen that we're moving at the end of the month. So in order to keep up with shows and other quizzes and extra, it's going to be important and imperative for you actually to get those notifications by the Red and Blue review page. And we have got a show coming up this Sunday, time to be confirmed, but it'll either be 7:30 or 8 o'clock. So again, if you subscribe and like the review page, as soon as we go live, you'll get the notification. We've got a very special guest. We cannot say who it is, but that should add to the intrigue. Right, 10 seconds to go. Hi Graham, hi Tom, good to see you boys. Steve Chandler. Right, okay, for those regulars amongst us, you'll know this already, but for anyone new, you will need a pen and paper, as it's a self-marking quiz. So clearly honesty is the key, but it's all about having fun anyway. There are going to be 5 rounds, each with 6 questions, 5 questions worth 1 point, and then a bonus question worth 2. The maximum score, therefore, is 35 points. And it says on there it should last around 40 minutes. I've changed the timing somewhat just to make it a little slicker, so it's working out about 32. And it says do not write answers, but if you want to write answers, go for it. So get set, get comfy, and we'll begin in a minute. So today's rounds, what are they? Hi Simon, good to see you, mate. The first round is Who Am I? Which seems to be a popular round. The second round will be about scorers. The third round will be club nicknames. That's football club nicknames as opposed to nicknames of people within our club. Round 4, past 3 seasons. That's specifically kept there for you, Jordan. And then the usual lucky dip at the end. So let's begin. Who am I? Hi Lee, good to see you, mate. I was born in February 1964. I played for Palace's youth team in 1980-81 before then moving into non-league, where I was spotted by Steve Coppell. I was top scorer in the 85-86 season with 11 goals. I rejoined Palace from Queen's Park Rangers in 1989. And I played for Spanish side Marbella in 94-95, making 33 appearances and scoring 2 goals. Who is that? Question 2. I was born in Stockport. Someone has to. I joined Palace for £1.25 million. I made my debut in the same game that Attilio Lombardo did. I could play either as a centre-half or forward and had success at both ends. I made 27 appearances at Palace, scoring 4 goals. Short and sweet career, but he was effective nonetheless. Who is that? Who am I? Okay, question 3. I was born in Northampton in 1974. I joined Palace from Millwall, where I played alongside another former Eagle. I scored my first Palace goal against Sheffield Wednesday in March 2008. I made 121 appearances for Palace. And I look like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. That should be a big, big clue for a lot of you out there. Jordan, I'm not so sure, but have a hazard a guess. Question 4. I was born in 1991. Blimey. I think I've got underwear older than that. My father was captain of the national side I played for. I joined Palace for a paltry £2.5 million, which I thought was overpriced. Some of you seen on the show. I began my career in France with Marseille, scoring on my debut. And my 2 brothers also play professional football. Who am I? Question 4. Who do you think that is? Question 5. I was born in California. Oh, you're all taking it seriously because no one's putting anything in the chat in a minute. I developed through the youth setup at Old Trafford. Born in California, came through the youth system at Old Trafford. I left Man U due to work permit problems to join Borussia Dortmund. I played as a midfielder or forward, scoring 5 goals for Palace. And I played with David Beckham during my career. I'm assuming that's football related by virtue of being in the youth setup at Old Trafford. Who is that? And for your bonus question, drum roll. I was born in February 1990, just before our semi-final. I made my international debut as a substitute against England. I made my country squad for the 2014 World Cup. I'm 6'2" tall. I made my Palace debut in 2017 against Middlesbrough. Who is that? Current player. There's a clue. Okay, round 2. Scorers. Question 6. Wilfried Zaha scored his first goal for Palace versus Leicester in a 3-2 home win. Who scored Palace's third that afternoon to make it 3-0 to Palace at half-time? Who scored the third goal? Question 7. Who scored the goal that kept the club up against Stockport? Infamous goal, famous goal. Surely you will know that. Even you, Jordan, should know that. Know your history. Question 8. Who scored the third goal away at Man City last season? We all remember the fantastic goal that Townsend scored, but who scored the third goal? Question 9. Whose goal, alongside an own goal from Stefan Honcho, gave 10-man Palace a famous 2-0 win over Liverpool at Anfield in 2003? And if my memory serves me right, it was a League Cup game. 10 men and still beat them 2-0 on their home turf. Question 10. Which ex-Palace player scored the winner in the 2013 FA Cup final? Should be relatively easy, that one. And the bonus question for scorers. How many goals did Chris Armstrong score for the club? What a player, hey? How much would that boy be worth now? How many goals did Chris Armstrong score for the club? Apparently, I'm being told it's on the player now. I'm not sure what's on the player, but I would have thought it's probably one of the games we've just been talking about. Right, club nicknames. Who are known as the Railwaymen? Question 11. Who are known as the Railwaymen? Who are known as the Black Cats? That should be quite easy. Question 12. This is a round specifically created by Nigel Croucher, and that was specifically for Nigel, that answer, that question. Question 13. Who are known as the Choir Boys? Don't often use club nicknames nowadays, do we? We just call them by their actual name. Question 14. Who are known as the Royals? Question 15. Who are known as the Imps? And the bonus question for the club nicknames round is, who are known as the Citizens? This is a rarely used nickname, that one. Certainly caught me by surprise. Right, round 4, past 3 seasons. Come on, Jordan, I'm expecting great things of you today. Hi, Tony, how's it going, mate? Question 16. In the 2018-19 season, who were the last team that Palace lost to? So, in the last season, who did we lose to last? In the same season, we beat which promoted side 2-0 in the first game of the season? Should be quite an easy one for you, Jordan. Hi, Andy. Good to see you, mate. In October 2019, we beat West Ham 2-1 with an 87th minute goal that was initially disallowed. But who scored it? Thank goodness for VAR. Question 19. In 2018, who did we sign on loan from Man United? He actually did well while he was with us. When he played, that was. Well, I thought he did anyway. Question 20. Who currently wears the number 8 shirt? Who currently wears number 8? It's a machine. And your bonus question, 2 points up for grabs here, Jordan. How many players have made an appearance for the first team in the Premier League this season? That went out a bit quick. Sorry about that. That's how many players have played for the first team this season. So, lucky dip. Question 21. Who was the first British footballer to play 100 Champions League games? Question 22. Which Tottenham player scored for both sides in the 87 FA Cup final? And if he wasn't such a nice guy, everyone wouldn't care. But he was such a nice guy. He's such a nice guy. Question 23. What was the name of the dog that found the stolen World Cup in 1966? Stolen from a shop display from memory. Which two countries jointly hosted the 2002 FIFA World Cup? Was question 24. And question 25, who were the first Welsh football team to play in the Premier League? Who were the first Welsh football team to play in the Premier League? And then your bonus question, which team became temporary ground sharing tenants with Palace at Selhurst in 91? Which team became tenants at Selhurst Park in 1991? Right. Okay, they're the questions. As I say, I played around with the timing, so it probably ran a bit quicker than I would have liked, but apologies for that. We're just trying, again, playing with the timings, depends on who's actually doing the calling. Let us know how you thought, or what you thought of those rounds. I'll be interested to know. Are there any rounds that we haven't done that people would potentially like? Let me know. And just to let you guys know, we're going to be taking a break from this because it is taking a bit of time at the minute, and obviously with the Wi-Fi. But we are planning to keep the quiz going, you know, even after the lockdown. Maybe not on quite a regular basis, but if you guys would be happy to see that, then again, just let me know in the comments, and it'll give us an idea as to whether we're wasting our time or not. So grab yourself a drink. I've already got mine, and good health to everyone. And then we'll come to the answers in about 55 minutes, 55 seconds, not minutes. I've only had that much. Premature finish again. Yeah, thank you. The story of my life, Paul, mate. I'll tell you. SDC on Palace on YouTube. Okay. Hi, John. Hi, Chris. Good to see you, mate. How you doing? Just go for the answers. Well, to be fair, well, I'll cover the question masters at the end, Andrew. But we're just about to get back to it. But yeah, good. Oh, I'm pleased that you guys like it. That's good. Okay, straight into the answers. Question 1. Who am I? I was born in February 1964. I played for Palace's youth team in 1980 to 81 before moving into non-league football, where I was spotted by Stevie Coppell. I was top scorer in 85-86 with 11 goals. I then rejoined Palace from QPR in 89. Any ideas? And I played for Marbella, scoring 2 goals. Hi, Matthew. Good to see you, mate. The answer is, of course, Andy Gray. Would he get into the current squad? I think he'd have a fighting chance. Question 2. I was born in Stockport. I joined Palace for £1.25 million, which at the time was quite a high price for us to pay. I made my debut in the same game that Lombardo did, so that would have been Everton away in 97. I could play either as a centre half or centre forward. I made 27 appearances at Palace, scoring 4 goals. Who was it? Quick. Paul Walhurst is the answer. Give yourself a pat on the back if you got that. I went up there myself to watch that game, and he actually had a blinder in that game. Who am I? Question 3. I was born in Northampton in 1974. I joined Palace from Millwall, where I played alongside another former Eagle. I scored my first Palace goal against Sheffield Wednesday in March 2008. I made 121 appearances. And I look like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. I'm sure a number of you got it from that description, but it was, of course, Matty Lawrence. Quite a learned guy. He was actually, what a wholehearted player he was. I watched the Sheffield Wednesday game the other day, and he was throwing himself around all over the place, just getting blocks in. Not necessarily the best technically, but a wholehearted player nonetheless. Question 4. I was born in 1991. I wish. My father was captain of the national side that I play for. I joined Palace for a paltry £2.5 million. I began my career in France with Marseille, scoring on my debut. My 2 brothers also play professional football. Any guesses? Current player? Jordan the Man. Ayew. Well done. If you got that, give yourself a point. And I take it all back. He's worth every penny. Question 5. I was born in California. I developed through the youth setup at Old Trafford. I left Man United due to work permit problems to join Borussia Dortmund. I played as a midfielder or forward, scoring 5 goals for Palace. And I played with David Beckham during my career. So, any guesses? Tough one, this one, I think. Johan Karofsky. Tough one. For such a short career, that would have been a hard one to get, I think. Bonus question for you. Worth 2 points, don't forget. I was born in February 1990. I made my international debut as a substitute against England. I made my country squad for the 2014 World Cup. 6'2" tall. All the way your head's a ball in a minute, you think it's 5'2". I made my Palace debut in 2017 against Middlesbrough. It's worth 2 points. Mamadou Sakho. Will he be with us when we finish the season, I wonder? Right, scorers. Wilf scored his first goal for Palace versus Leicester in a 3-2 home win. But who scored Palace's third? It was, of course, Alan Lee. Saw it again. I said I saw the Sheffield Wednesday game. I forgot just how good a game that guy had in that one. He was a great worker and made up for Calvin Andrews' lack of impact. Who scored the goal that kept the club up against Stockport? If you didn't get this, I think you should I'll just kick you off now. I'm assuming everyone got Dougie Freedman. Please tell me you did. Hopefully, Lee, that's more than your second one. Question 8. Who scored the third goal away at Man City? As I say, we all remember Townsend's, but Lucas scored from the spot after Mini Max Meyer was unceremoniously dropped by Carl Walker. Ridiculous penalty giveaway. Put us 3-1 up. Question 9. Whose goal alongside an own goal from Honcho gave 10-man Palace a 2-0 win over Liverpool at Anfield midweek, and it was, of course, Julian Gray. Not quite sure we got to see the best of him. I think he had a lot more to offer. Obviously came to the club with Tommy Black, didn't he, for $500,000 or so. Number 10, which ex-Palace player scored the winner in the 13 FA Cup final? Ginger. Looks like Harry. Of course, Ben Watson. And in the same side as Jimmy Mack on the day as well. And for your bonus question, how many goals did the mighty Chris Armstrong, Coco Pop, as he was known because of the little mole on his nose, score for the club? 45 in 118 appearances. What would we give for that now, eh? What would that guy be worth now? Some of his goals, spectacular goals. He rarely scored tap-ins, did he? Okay, on to club nicknames. Who are known as the Railwaymen? Who are known as the Railwaymen? Crew Alexander. I saw someone putting the answers up in the chat earlier. Well done if you got it, or if you copied. Who are known as the Black Cats? Nigel. That one clearly I know was for you. Sunderland. For those of you that don't know, Nigel was one of the quiz masters. He's based up in and around the area. Who are known as the Choir Boys? Wycombe Wanderers. That should really be 2 points if you got that, because that was a good one, that one. But I'm not giving it to you. It's just 1 point. Who are known as the Royals? This is relatively easy. Reading. Who are known as the Imps? And that is Lincoln City. Lovely city if you've never been. Lincoln's lovely. Okay, bonus question, 2 points. Who are known as the Citizens? As I said earlier, this caught me by surprise. I wasn't aware that this was the case, but it is Manchester City. So if you got that, you deserve the 2 points. Well done. Comments if you got it. Okay, on to past 3 seasons. In 18-19, who were the last team that Palace lost to? Bit of repetition here. It was Man City. They were the last team that we lost to in 18-19. In the same season, we beat which promoted side 2-0 first game of the season? Jordan, I hope you got this right. Goals from Wilf and Schlupp. Fulham away, first game of the season. Set the tone for their season as well, I think, that one, after spending all those hundreds of millions. In October, just gone, we beat West Ham 2-1 away with an 87th-minute goal, which was initially disallowed, but VAR saved us. Who scored it? The mighty man himself, Jordan Ayew. Jay's like, that much. Well, he was probably just level, wasn't he, really? And stuffed it away. Question 19. In 2018, who did we sign on loan from Man United? Right back. Only to then get injured, Timothy Fosu-Mensah, then get usurped by Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who kept him out of the Palace lineup, and then ended up in his place in Man United. So probably not the best of moves for him. Who currently wears the number 8 shirt? It is the machine himself, Kiarte. Very good buy. Just like Tompkins, well worth it. West Ham fans must be kicking themselves. Excellent. Bonus question. How many players made an appearance for the first team in the Premier League this season? This might surprise you. It is 24. Now, obviously, with Hodgson not, sticking to his team, most of these were enforced through the massive injury list we had. Quite a few on 1 or 2 appearances. Okay, lucky dip, 21. Who was the first British footballer to play 100 Champions League matches? I'm sure it's of no surprise. It was Beckham. Question 22. He says, which Tottenham player scored for both sides in the 87 FA Cup final? It was Tottenham versus Coventry. It was, of course, Gary Mabbott. He's come off his thigh into his own goal, and then he scored with a header at the other end. Question 23. What was the name of the dog that found the stolen World Cup, the Jules Rimet Trophy, in 66? It was, of course... Don't keep me hanging on. There you go, Pickles. I said it was nicked from a shop. It was actually found in a hedge somewhere in Norwood, believe it or not. Which 2 countries jointly hosted the 2002 FIFA World Cup? It's the first time it was shared from memory. It was South Korea and Japan. Question 25 is, who were the first Welsh football team to play in the Premier League? Can only have really been Swansea or Cardiff. And if you got Swansea, you did well. You got yourself a point. Well done. And the last question, the bonus question. Which team became ground sharing tenants with us in 1991? It can only have been one of 2. And of course, it was Wimbledon. And I bet they regretted moving ever since. As always, massive thanks to both Nigel and Tom, who do tireless work. I cannot explain just how much work they do get in the questions. So thank you both once again. Let me know how you got on. Let me see how many answers you got right. Jordan, did you beat your record, or did you find it a bit more difficult? How are the questions? Do they get you finding it getting more difficult, or they're half and half? They're pitched just right? Let me know. $12, John. Well done, mate. That's good. I've got to say, I thought it was particularly tough this time round. I think either everyone's trying to double count, or they just don't want to admit what they've got. Because John, okay, Graham, 24. My son Simon, 24, and his son Simon, 15. Well done, Graham. 12. How rubbish is that? Getting worse every week. Is that the quiz, or you, Andy? Right, Simon, well done, 19. Right, as you can see on the screen, guys, Jordan, 9 points, well done. Feeble, 16. It's not feeble, Lee. Don't worry about that. I think it's fantastic. Paul, 16. Well done again. Right, as you can see on the screen, live show this week, special guest interview. We've got on there that it's 8 o'clock, but it might be 7:30 because we think we might overrun with it, because obviously we've got a lot to discuss, and you'll know why when you see. But as I say, don't forget, like and subscribe to the Red and Blue Review Facebook page, and then you'll be kept up to date if we go live a bit earlier as well. Okay, guys. Well, Steve Chandler, 22. Wow, fantastic. Well done. Less than last week, but it's still really good. Well done, guys. Well, listen, as I say, apologies to Gel. I know that he was really frustrated that he couldn't be here with you guys. And I just wanted to thank you all again for your support and for tuning in. And we'll catch up with you, hopefully, on Sunday for our special interview and our special show. So have a great rest of the week. Enjoy the sunshine and don't get sunburnt when you go out. All right, then. Cheers, guys.